Hello, we're back. I hope you enjoyed the weekend, Saturday's broadcast. We did, I don't know, I think we did about 4 or 5 hours. We did 2 shows. We are out here again. We back. You all may be asleep by the time you catch this or whatnot. You probably think it's an error. It's not. Get the hair right there. It's not an error.
I think it's an error.
Uh
It's
oh.
not.
That's me. We're back. What's going on, Elise? How are you? This is our first installment of Programming Mondays. The other one that we did earlier or yesterday, if you want to look at it that way, was Security Sundays. Tomorrow is Tech Tip Tuesdays. Wednesday is our meetup, and then recap Thursday. Then financial, foolish finance Friday. All right, let's get the code. Tyler, you ready? Tyler, we should be dropping the link for you. We should be dropping the link for you. You know what's good, Marshana? What's good? So tonight we just I'm you know what I said I was going to talk about a lot of programming languages. I don't know. I may still slide them in there. I don't want to be on too long. I know it's late. Um, I've been thinking in my head I need to make me a lo-fi women in Linux radio broadcasting station. I need to make me a little lo-fi, little music. I don't know. We'll see. What's going on, Rachel? Y'all up late? I don't know where you at. I know Tyler. I know you on the West Coast. Um, I'm not sure about everybody else. Maybe Midwest, East Coast, possibly could be, maybe whatever. But drop in the chat what drop in the chat the programming language you're learning or a programming language you want to learn, uh, or 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 um, a programming language you heard about. You up with the baby? That baby not walking. Is that baby should be walking now? Ain't it? That baby should be pulling down curtains now, walking to you, telling you, "Feed me. This my bottle. It's empty." Python, I got you. Is that Python just for data science or is it just regular Python? Oh, new baby. I got you. I'm like, the other baby should be pulling down curtains. I want to learn Go and Rust. I'm about to learn Python real soon, at least the basis of it. Python for machine learning. Got you. Everybody's on Python. Well, since everybody's on Python, I'm not gonna talk about it tonight. That's what I thought. I was like, that baby should be walking around talking about, Mama, this my bottle and it's empty. Mama, it's empty. It's my bottle is empty, Mama. What you gonna do? Like, fix it. When you say what about Pearl, I thought about Pearl in the Manosphere. I was like, what about Pearl? But it's spelled Perl. Pearl. Perl. Yeah. Perl. Right. All right. So let me do this. All right. Let's see what they got out here. And my thing. Here we go. Here we go. I looked up what's the top programming languages 2023. Everybody got their own, thingy. But let's go and see what they say. All right. And then we're gonna start from the bottom now we're here. All right. So online they say Python. Oh no, let me see. How can I get rid of this thing here? It's not going away. JavaScript, Java, C++, PHP. This is on Forbes. I'm sure Indeed got something else. So let's go to Indeed programming languages. What does it Indeed say? As of March of 2023. Uh, 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 Let's see. Said they got C and C++. So I'll go with C for low level programming languages. I'll even throw assembly in there. Java, JavaScript, Python, SQL, Swift, TypeScript. They got some more languages: Kotlin, PHP, R, MATLAB, Ruby, Scala, C Sharp. Right. All right. So what we're gonna start with tonight is something simple. We're gonna start with the bash shell. But before we get started with the bash shell, let's talk about some background. Brian Fox. Brian Fox. Right. You can find the bash shell on all your Linux devices, all your when I say Linux devices, I should say all of your flavors of Linux. Um, the Red Hats, the Ubuntu's, the Centaurs, the Mint Linux, Scientific Linux, whatever the case may be. You'll find you'll find the Bash shell there in order to program in it. Now there's different shells. Let's not get it twisted. There are different shells. There is the corn shell, which is the K shell. There's the C shell, corn, K, Z shell, and then the bash shell, right? Primarily by default, when you log into a Linux box, it's gonna be the bash shell by default. It's gonna be the bash shell by default. All right. So little known fact, um, Brian, I guess Jahan Fox is an American computer programmer and free software advocate. He's the original author of the GNU or GNU, most people say GNU, Bash Shell, and he announced it as a beta in 1989. It has been updated since then, but there's Mr. Brian Fox. You can go on YouTube and look up Brian Fox. And let's look up Brian Fox GNU. Let's do that. So here he is right here 4 years ago talking about the bash shell. What is the GNU bash shell? And here you go right here. So you get a chance to talk, listen to him and talk, so forth and so on, right? That's a fun fact. That's a fun fact. All right. So there are multiple ways to get this bash shell, but I'm going to use my Google Cloud instance, and I have some old things that I had brought up just on GP. So I'm getting my instance brought up there, or my shell brought up there. I have a GitHub repo from like 7 years ago on writing some bash scripts, some simple bash scripts. So we're gonna start with something really simple, like really simple, like print hello world, right? So let's do it. ls. There's nothing there, and so now let me know if this is big enough. It looks big enough, but I mean, and let me know. So now I'm gonna name a file. I'm gonna open and name a file, and let's just gonna call it hello.sh, right? And in here now I'm gonna put the processor that I want to use. When I say, I should say compiler that I want to use. I want to do, well, the shell script I want to use, the binary that I want to use. So I do um, shebang and then user bin bash, right? And here I just want to echo um, hello world. It's a simple one that everybody always starts with. So before we even change anything, I'm just going to type echo um, hello world. You can see here, I got it printed out to the screen here. I just took the time and opened it up into a shell script and put it inside of a shell script here using bin bash to echo hello world. I'm keeping it really, really simple, right? So we know if I type echo hello world from command line, that should work. Now, there are some nuances when you do this. Sometimes when you type something on the command line, it'll work, and then you'll type something inside of your shell script and it doesn't work. So you have to be very careful about that translation. Sometimes it could be you need to escape a character, and I'll give you. Let's do this one first, right? So let's do this first, and then we'll do that. All right. So when we do an ls, well, let me clear, and let's do an ls minus l. What we notice is there's no execute on this particular script that I created. So I can do an sh on it, but it's not going to run because there's no executable on those permissions. So now I got to do a chmod plus x on hello.sh. And now when I do a ls minus l, you see now I have execute permissions across the board. Before I was 664. Now, excuse me, I'm 775. I'm 775. So now I'm a clear. And now I'm gonna do sh hello.sh, and you can see I get hello world. I can also do / hello.sh and get hello world. Basically, I'm telling it, here's the script to run. I mean, here's the executable. I want you to run this executable. But when you do this sh right here, I'm literally saying that I know for a fact that this is a bash script, because this bash right here tells me, user bin bash tells me it's a bash script. If it was Python, if it was Perl or something else, I wouldn't use sh. I would use Perl. I would use Python to run that script, right? Any project suggestions? I would say go to Exorcism. There's a couple of websites out there for interview questions that do interview programming questions and so forth. So you can check those out too. But Exorcism is something I recommend people just to get started, and HackerRank if you want to. But there are a ton of other ones like Leak Code as well too for projects to get started in. Just a regular get started. All right. So I just did something simple. Hello world. You can do that, right? So now let's go back into this file using my up arrow, and let's vim hello. And now let's do this. I'm going to put a comment right here. Now, when I do that, do you think anything will happen? Type in the chat if you think anything will happen because I commented that out. Do you think hello world will still show? You can type a one or a two in the chat. One or two in the chat if you think hello world will still show. All right. So right quick, I'll wait till it come in. I think there's a 7 second delay, maybe a 10 second delay. I put a comment there. Do you think anything will happen? Elise says no. Again, some two. I get a two. All right. So far we got no. All right. Let's see what happens. All right. Now when I sh hello world or hello.sh, nothing happens because it's a comment. So now what you have learned is how to make comments inside of a bash script. So here, right here, I'm like, this is considered a comment, right? And we know for a fact that it's not going to echo out because, oops, not right click. I mean, right click. When I do this again, I get nothing. So let's go back into it. All right, so now we know that's a comment. Now let's see, is this a comment? Will this work? Will this work? By echo pound sign hello world exclamation point. Will that work? Oh, some people say yes. Ooh, ooh. Let's see. I'm gonna clear my screen so we can get it back up to the top. All right. SH hello. Nothing happened. Do you know why nothing happened? Do you know why nothing happened? Because essentially that pound sign is in front and made it a comment afterwards, so it's just space. So it just printed space. So what should have happened? That what should have happened was this. You have to escape that hashtag. So now let's try it. Let's try it. So when I escaped the hashtag, it printed the hashtag and hello world. Right? Right? Tricky, tricky. Keep up with that. So this is goes back to what I said before. You'll try some stuff like echo. Let's do that command line. Echo hello world. And you can see nothing happen. So here's my suggestion to you. Before you write it in the script, try it on command line, then transpose that into the script. And if you're not getting the results that you think you should be getting, then um, think about escaping something special, especially certain characters and so forth, right? All right, so we got it to print, we got it to do a little hello world. We got some basics going there, right? Just some basics, right? But now there are certain things you want to do um when you're creating scripts. You want to read files, or you want to parse a file, right? So right now let's just parse a file, just something simple. um let's go back in here to our hello world. We'll delete that, and we'll say cat etc. Well, let's do this. Yeah, we'll cat slash etc issue. I think it's issue.net. It may be issue, but I'm not sure, so we'll just do both. um and what I'll do is I'll put some spacing in here, so we could say echo, and then let's put some spacing in here so we know that's two different things, right? So now let's read a file. So what I'm saying is go into the etc directory and read issue.net. Now hopefully we have permissions to do that, right? Now I have to pass sudo. It should tell me. All right. So there we go. It was able to read it without the sudo privileges on there. And let's look and see ls minus l on etc issue. You can see I got read across the board. So either way it go, I was able to read it. Right. So I'm able to read a file. Right. So this is just, again, we just focus on bash. We're not doing anything fancy. We're not doing anything unheard of, right? We're just reading files. We're just creating stuff. So now let's go do this. Let's go back into our file and let's do this. Let's get rid of this. Now let's make some files in the directory that we're in. So let's do touch hello dot I should be able to do 1-3. I think that should work. Dot text. I think that should work. I gotta double verify that. So I may be off on that. Let's see. It may be dot dot. So let me do sh hello dot text and let's do it ls. Yeah, see, it didn't do it right. So, but it did make it, but it didn't do what I wanted to do. So let's go back in and edit that. Let's do a remove. And this is how you remove this. You just remove and put that in quotes, highlight this, and then do that. And then when I do an ls, that's gone. Sorry. So I didn't do what I wanted to do. Let me look at what the syntax of that is. All right. Dash, make file one dot dot. I think it may be 1.3. I think that's what I may need. Don't quote me. Hold on. I forget off the top of my head. Let me look. It may be 1.3. Let's see. And I may need to put that in a for loop too. Well, let me see. I may need to put that in a for loop. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was 1.3. So what I did was instead of me doing hello dot one dot text or touch hello, instead of doing this, touch hello dot one dot text and then hello dot one dot two text. I said put that all in this script right here to create these files for me. I'm just creating blank text files. Hello dot one dot three. So one, it's going to create files hello dot one dot text, hello dot two dot text, hello dot three dot text, right? And I could do the same thing here and create 10, right? I'm gonna put 10 right here and it's gonna create 10 files for me. 1 through 10, right? So we'll do clear, we'll do an ls, we'll remove hello star dot text. Yeah, hello star dot text, that should be fine. You can see that's gone, right? So now in our file in hello.sh, we're saying, hey, touch and make files hello.1.text, hello.2.text, and hello.3.text. All right, so now let's do it. Run the same file again. And then we do an ls here. And you can see I have those 10 files. That's a shortcut. Understood? Simple enough? Drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know if that was simple enough. All right? Just doing simple bash stuff. Just simple bash stuff. All right. So now that we got some simple bash stuff out of the way, let me go back to my GitLab folder. Let's do a for loop. All right. All right, cool. That makes sense. All right. So in here, I opened up a book. Let me see, where's my book at? I just had it open right here. Bash Quick Start Guide. And I can come over here and look at the titles. And let's see. So in here we got bash command structure, right? They're just talking about the command structure for it. And this is on Packet. You can go to Packet and get this book. It's just a very basic book. And let's go down here. Well, let me go here. Let's see what they got. Using key bindings for Bash, read line, um, and then simple commands like make a directory, new Bash, just like we would anything else. Let's do that to show you stuff you can do. You can pile on multiple commands. So we're gonna make this 11. And then what we'll do here is we'll say make dir and slash temp my test dir, and then we'll say we should test whether my test or dir got created, but we won't do test right now. And then we'll do a ls we'll do a ls minus l on slash temp, and then we'll grep for my tester, right? So three things supposed to happen. I'm supposed to create files 1 through 11 for hello.1, 1 dot text or x dot text. I'm going to create a directory in the temp directory called my tester, and then I'm going to use ls minus l on slash temp to get to see if my tester got created. Now, the number one question is when it creates this directory, permissions are going to be on, what are the permissions that are going to be on that directory? What are the permissions that are going to be on that directory? Y'all should know this one. Those that come to the Wednesday class, you should know this by default. The permissions on the directory start out as what? And then with the UMask, it automatically makes it what? So your answer should be all directories start out with permissions of 777, right? But then with the UMask, let's check and see what the UMask is. UMask is 002. Should be 775, right? So let's run it. Let's see. Or maybe 755. Let's see. Hello.sh, right? Yeah, 775. So I automatically got the permissions for it. It told me that it was there. We verified that it was there when we did the ls on it, right? So my tester got created in slash temp because I grep for it there, and it gave me the permissions, right? So something really simple. All right, so let's go back in here. So this dash P means that I don't have a directory there called new. Create that directory and bash. So let's go back to our file and let's look at that again. And let's create a directory. Make dir dash P. We're gonna say new and then new test dir. All right. So now let's look at this. Let's do an ls on slash. We don't have a directory called new, but when we get done, we should have a directory called new. All right, so let's clear this. Let's go back in our folder, our file. And then in here, let's do let's do an ls on slash and see what we get out, right? So basically, we should be repeating all these steps all over again. Now, let me say this. This is what Ansible gains more control than what Bash does. Because Ansible is not going to keep running the permissions over again. It's going to check to see if that stuff is there and it hasn't been done. And then if it hasn't, it'll do it. If it has been done, it's not going to do it. It's going to like, hey, it's already been done. But we keep repeating, going over and over again our same stuff. So let's go back to it, and then let's do a sh hello.sh. All right, so now it says, look here, it said I can't create because it already exists, which makes sense, right? We didn't delete it. That makes sense. But now my tester got created, right? But now we got a new, we should have had a new directory ls minus l on slash, and we probably couldn't do it because I don't see new right here. So um, let's look at our file. Oh, I know what it did. It created it in the directory in which I'm in. So if I do an ls, there's the new, and then do it up at the slash. So here's new, and if I do an ls minus l capital R, you'll see new and then new tester. So it did right. It just didn't put it at the top of the, and then put it at the top because I didn't tell it to do that, right? So that's what they're doing there. They're showing that there. Let's go on to the next one. Where they start talking about shell meta characters. So here, touch important file. So here, for example, you want to create, touch a new file, name important file. Note there's a space in the name. If you try to create this, it's going to give you unexpected results because there's a space there. So it's going to touch important, but it doesn't know what to do with file. It think file is a command, right? So see, it does important file. Yeah, it was okay. So it did both of them. It did both of them. So let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Clear. Touch. Um, New. Now let's touch. This is. I want to do an ls. Created. This is. So it took the command and then it took them as arguments for this and is. Let me know if this sounds good so far. Right? Let me know if this sounds good so far. We're just doing bash. All right. So here, as you can see here, they got touch test file, and then in brackets dot doc, and then here they're doing a touch review, and then final dot. But it's got a semicolon right there, and that means in Bash it's like complete the first task and then do the next task. Well, the next task isn't doing anything. Final dot doesn't do anything, right? Here, touch $ money. In some cases, you may get an error message at all, and something very unexpected happens instead. For example, touch $ money dot, and then ls. So it gave you three Ds. A lot of time we're simply work with files and words that don't use these characters simply. I mean, however, we can't always do that, and we can't jump others. We can't hope that others have the same way, and will eventually have to work with their files and their data, right? So they're just showing you some basics here. And then I did some quoting when we put stuff in quotes, but here they got this double quote right here. Let me highlight that. They got this double quote right here. And what they're trying to show here is you will have to escape this double quote if you wanted that quote to print to the screen. So let's look at that. Let's go back in our file. Oops, not hello. Need hello.sh. Or you may have to put it in single quotes. All right, so let's get rid of all this stuff here. I think you all understand all of that so far. Pretty simple. All right, now let's do hello. I mean, echo. This is a test. Now, I think you can do this, right? I think you can do this. because you got a single quotes inside the double quotes. I don't know why the screen is fuzzy. All right, so let's do sh hello dot sh. So you can see the double quotes that the ticks got printed inside. So now let's go back and change the ticks to double quotes. What do you think? Do you think it's gonna work because I got double quotes inside double quotes? Let's find out. Let's find out. Unclear. All right, now let's do sh hello dot sh. Notice that it read past the double quotes. It didn't put the double quotes around that, right? So let's go back to it because I want the double quotes to print. And now let's escape these double quotes. And now let's sh. And now you can see the double quotes printed, right? So if you got double quotes on the outside, you can do single quotes on the inside and those are print. But if you want double quotes inside of double quotes, you have to escape the double quotes inside of that. Did that make sense, everybody? Did everybody sure about double quotes, single quotes, hashtags, all of that inside X, Y, and Z? Right? We rolling. We rolling. We rolling, doo doo. We rolling. All right. So here again, they're talking about escapes, right? With the backslashes, forward slash, whatever, right? Single quotes. I just showed you all of that. Double quotes. I just showed you all of that. Um, Now, quote concatenation. Now, what do you think this is going to do? We got echo hello. We're escaping the first quote, right? We're escaping the first double quote, right? Well, actually, we're escaping everything here. And then we got a single quote, and then we got we got double quotes inside of single quotes, and so forth. And so here they're showing that the dollar sign user is an actual user that is reading as an environment variable, and that username is bash user, and then the exclamation point, and then welcome to a bash demo, and where they got single quotes here, but host name is they got it in single quotes. Yeah, they got host name inside. No, they don't have it in single quotes. They got dollar sign host name, and then they got all of this in the double quote, right? I know it looks confusing. I wouldn't have wrote this way, but I get it. I wouldn't have wrote this way because if somebody had to follow you up and try to figure out what that was, it'd be totally confusing. All right, all right. Running commands in sequence. All right. So here, what I told you, you're cd to something, then you'll do ls minus a, and then you'll do a make dir. Right? So they just got it all on one line. Here they said CD and then remove non-existent, whatever home directory non-existent, and then echo hello. So it's gonna run these commands, but then it's gonna error out on this one, but it's gonna keep going. That's what they're trying to show you, right? I'm gonna go and then exit values. So here we can capture what the exit value is. If an error comes back, if it's not an error, you should get a 0. If an error comes back, it'll be 1. You'll get a 1. That signifies there's an error. 0 meaning that everything went through just fine. So here we remove dir and we failed to get an error. We failed to remove it, and so when it echoed dollar sign question mark, we get an error. So now let's play with that. So let's do this. In this directory, we're going up to hello.11.text. So in our bash script, let's remove hello.12.text. All right, so here, let's do rm hello 12.text, and it should error, and we should echo with the dollar sign question mark. Yeah. Dollar sign question mark. All right, let's see what we get. Sh hello.sh. So look here. We tried to remove hello.text, but that doesn't exist. I did that on purpose. And then because I was able to capture that with the output, it returned a error code of 1. But check it out. Let's do this. Um, let's do this. Echo. We'll do this. Return error code. All right. And then let's do this. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do 4 YY. Give me 4 lines I'm yanking, and then we'll paste. And now we're gonna remove 11, and now we're gonna get the error code to print out. So now let's see what we get. Should get a 0. So now let's do a sh hello, hello.sh, sorry. So, all right, so look, it returned the error code of it should return error code of 1 right here, because that doesn't exist, but it's got me an error code of 0. So let's go see what happened. That change anything? No. Let's comment this out. See, because we should have got an error code of 1. I wonder if it takes whatever was printed last. Yeah, see, it's still returning me an error code of 0. I wonder it's going by the last error code. Let's do this. Let's change this to a 13. It should have gave me a new error code. Interesting. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, it's still returning me 13. Let's look at echo dollar sign question mark. So let's do rem hello dot 13 dot text, and then let's do echo question mark. Okay, that worked. So it looks like it's grabbing whatever the last code that ran. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's grabbing the last code that ran. Right? That's what it looks like to me. So be careful on that. Why it's not returning you this last, why it's not returning the error code here, because this should run, and this should return a 1, and then this one down here should return this one should return a 0. Let me see. Let's look at this. Hello.11 is gone, so let's go back and do 10. Change this to 10. We should get a 0 on this, but because it's in the script, I think it's just going to print out 0 and 0. Let's look at it. Yeah, it's going to print 0 and 0. All right, so how do you fix that? Well, the one way to fix this is you can take this, you can capture this error that is when it tries to remove, and store it in a variable, and then print the variable. This is the shortcut way here. So let's go look up dollar sign question mark dash. All right, so here in bash, the parameter is used to reference the process ID of the most recently executed command in the background. So it's grabbing whatever the last thing was in the background. It's not grabbing what the actual what the actual command was prior to that. Notice that. So if y'all on an exam or you're looking at somebody's script and they got echo $, question mark, it's going to take the last command, the output from that last command. And for in our case, there's no 13, so this should be returning 1. And we've seen that, right? We actually seen that. And now you can see how some discrepancies work, right? So now let's do hello, let's do RM hello dot 13 or 12 dot text, and then echo $, question mark, and then let's do rm hello dot one dot text, and then now let's do echo $, question mark. So in our script, what we want to see is 1 and 0, and we're not seeing that in our script. We're seeing whatever the previous command was, whatever that output was, we're seeing that. So remember that could be an issue. That could be an issue. Okay. All right. This is our last little run, and then we out of here. All right. All right. So let's look at what they say here. The RMDirt program returned an exit value of 1 because it could not delete a directory that didn't exist. And it says if we created the directory first, then remove it, both commands succeed. And the value of the $ question mark is 0. So this didn't exist. And then we made a directory, and then we echoed, and then they removed the directory, and then they echo. Examine the values for true and false. So true, and then echo that, and then false, and then echo that. So they type false and then true, and they give you that. Bash will raise an exit status of 127 for you if it can't find a way to run the command. So note command, note a command, echo $, bash, note a command not found, right? And that's what they're showing you there. But just be mindful of those nuances, right? Stopping a command list on error. So now we see instead of the semicolon, we got ampersand, right? Double ampersand, right? So if you want to issue a set of commands on one command line, but only to continue if every command works, the semicolon is going to say, I don't care if the command worked or not, I'm going to continue because I'm a boss. And then this one is the ampersand. If it fails, I can't continue. I can't continue. What you want me to do? I can't do. I can't go no more because the last command didn't work. I'm not gonna move, right? So here it's gonna CD and then remove this non-existent directory and then do an ls. But if that non-existent doesn't exist, it's gonna stop, right? So when you run this command, we'll see the final ls never runs because you have the ampersand. If this was ampersand and then semicolon and then the ls, it'll run. But we got double ampersands in here, right here and right there. So that's not gonna work, right? And then here they get into running these commands as well too. And then you hop into loops and conditions. So and I'll stop right here. And we'll pick up with more bash stuff. I have a whole slew of bash commands. Let me stuff I did years ago, 7 years ago to be exact. A whole slew of bash files and directories and stuff like that I want to go through. We'll do some. We'll probably deploy a. Oh, let me pull up my file again. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, right here. It's something I did a long time ago when we first got started. Bash scripting. I'll probably pull up a bash script to deploy into using GCP from command line to deploy an instance out in AWS or in GCP or what. It doesn't matter. But I just show you how you can use Bash to deploy those things. Should you use Python? Absolutely, you can use Python. You can use anything you want to. I'm just showing you just some basics. For loops, reading a file, getting the output from a file, creating a file, how to parse a log file, set, grep, egrep, which is now just grep with the dash e. How to create how to edit files, how to read files for users, remove stuff, move things around. We're just gonna do some basic stuff. Just gonna do some basics of Linux. Bash. And in this book, let me pull this book back up. I won't be following this book for long. I was just going through it just to show some basics that they have. Let me look at this right here. So in here they have essential commands, and then distinguishing command types, built-in commands, system commands, then input output, right? Um, how to pipe files, awk, redirecting files, right? We'll go through some of this stuff. I have some of this in my thing. This is word count minus C, so getting the number of characters in my empty file, and so forth. So I hope tonight was just like really simple for you. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on being too advanced. We're just doing simple stuff, getting you started, wetting your whistle, open up Bash if you have a just a simple Linux box that has Bash installed. You can do these commands. It's not that hard. And then once we get done with Bash, we'll probably roll into some beginning simple stuff with Python and Rust. I might do some PowerShell. I might do some PowerShell. Uh, and go from there. But this is just to get you started. I hope it was simple for you to follow. I hope it was easy. Spin up a terminal, spin up a Linux box. It doesn't matter. It could be CentOS or whatever, and just start playing with Bash, echo commands, print, um, start and stopping stuff, and go from there. All right. I hope y'all had fun. Thank you for the first run of programming Monday. Hope you enjoyed. All right, now y'all be safe.